Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Coffee with Coach Ted. Yes, Coffee with Coach Ted. Good morning. I have a different cup this morning. I thought I would change things up. So, good. So, welcome again to Coffee with Coach Ted. I am your ADHD champion. And someday I'll tell you what that means, but not today. So my topic for today is OOS, out of sight, out of mind. And this is a particular challenge for those of us with ADHD. If we can't see it, it doesn't exist. And to be honest, so that creates a big challenge for us because we put things in drawers, file cabinets, drawers in our, in our bedroom, in a cabinet or a little dresser. I have a little dresser by my office desk, and I got all kinds of stuff in there. And so the thing is, if we can't see it, we often just forget that it's there. And so it's something we need to really take into account, because if there are things that are important for us to be aware of, to be doing, to be taken care of, and if we're forgetting it's there, then we don't do it. Right? And then all of a sudden later on, it's like, oh my gosh, I forgot that thing again. So it really has to do a lot with storage, right? One thing comes to mind for me is my refrigerator. I don't know, maybe you can relate to this. If stuff gets pushed to the back of the refrigerator, I forget it's there. And then I find it a few days later, weeks later, and it's like, ugh, no good. Throw it out. Wasted money. Throwing out good food. Well, it's not good anymore. So I keep thinking I'm going to create a sheet, maybe get a little whiteboard thing for my refrigerator, and I'm going to write on there all the things that are in the refrigerator. Well, it hasn't happened yet. But it's a good idea anyway. That way I would know what's in there, and I would say, okay, it's time to use this container of hummus that I opened last week before it goes bad. So out of sight, out of mind. If we can't see it, it doesn't exist. So let's talk about workspace. How do we store things so that we don't forget them, we don't lose them? You put stuff in a file cabinet, out of sight, out of mind. So one thing you can do, one option is to use what are called vertical files rather than horizontal files. So vertical files could be those things that hang on the wall. They have slots in them. If you have wall space for that, and you put different folders in different sections of that, and you just look at, and you can see them right there. You see the tabs, and you know what's in there. You can even put labels on each one of the sections of that hanging file. Or use a bookcase rather than a file cabinet, and get magazine boxes and put your files in there. For examples of that, look up Pinterest, out of sight, out of mind on Pinterest. I found some really interesting photos in there that could give you some ideas of how to go about creating that kind of file system. Again, the idea is to keep remembering, how can I display things in a way that I see them, however, that don't create just extra clutter. And I think that's a huge challenge. An example of a situation, I have a client who was forgetting about appointments and things that he had to do because he didn't have a system of making sure he could see stuff. So he set up a routine in the morning. First of all, he had to clean off his desk, because if your desk is messy and you try to put something else on it, forget it, you're not going to see it. So he had to clean off his desk, and then he just set up a couple of steps. So first thing in the morning, he would come in, he would open and set up his laptop so he could see what's on the laptop. And the other thing is, he took out, he used a paper calendar and kind of to-do list. And he would take that out and he would look at it, and then he would set it so he could see it at all times. And then he would get out his phone, and he would check his calendar on his phone to make sure that he was aware of what was in there. And the thing about digital is it's much more difficult to set up so you can see it all the time. So I've been playing with something that I learned from an organization challenge that I took a couple weeks ago, Angela Andrews. This is now my daily to-do list. It's 3 columns. This is, over here in green is my schedule for the day. In the middle are my to-dos for my business, and you can see there's only 4 of them. And then over here, and that's blue. And then in red are personal to-dos. And it's big, and I prop it up on against, I actually have this extra monitor on my desk, another story. And I prop it up, and therefore I can see it at all times. So it's harder to forget. I used to use a planner, and I would leave it open, but it's kind of bulky, and I've tried that, and I don't like it these days. But so this is an idea of a way to remember things, and it's attractive. I'm no artist, if you're creative, you can make something much more attractive than this. But I used color, and it adds a little bit of interest to it. The main thing is everything's there that I need. It's got my appointments for the day, and it's got my main tasks for the day, and not too many of them. That's a whole other topic of discussion. But and then it's right there, and I just look, and it's staring me right in the face, and so it's hard to miss. So that's something, and this is a drawing pad. It's drawing paper that I happen to have in a drawer from years ago when I was doing some art stuff. So find ways so you can see the things that are important to you. Things you don't want to forget, your keys, your wallet. Put them, I have a table in my entryway, which is behind me, not over this shoulder, and a little table, and that's where my keys go, and my wallet, and my sunglasses. They're right there. I can see them, and they're when I'm leaving the house, so I don't forget them. My phone. So these are some different thoughts about how to deal with the challenge of out of sight, out of mind. I'm going to continue with this on Friday, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time, to talk about another side of out of sight, out of mind, which is having everything out so we don't forget it, and what challenge that creates. So that's it for today. Oh, I have to say, for you sports fans, me sports fan, Patriots won again yesterday. On their way to another Super Bowl is all I can say. So hope your team is doing well. And good to be here with you again Monday morning. Coffee with Coach Ted. Don't forget my coffee. And have a great week. And I will see you on Friday. Take care, everybody.